Tasmania show, yeah.
Wagwan gang, back in this thing, and if you really gang, bang that like button. Show some love, it's free. And if you like the vibe, subscribe. If you don't have good energy, please keep your ass inside and show some love to Tazzy's baddies, all flavors. You know we good in every hood. You tune into the Tasmania show with Taz Tycoon. And today, this is kind of like picking up where we left off. I'm not sure if y'all have seen the episode, but if you haven't yet, it was LaRussell versus Lil Wayne. If you don't know, LaRussell is a really dope artist from the Bay Area. Just signed a deal with Roc Nation after having so much independent success in the same lanes of like the Nipsey Hussles and the Russes and things like that. So when I saw LaRussell versus Lil Wayne, I was like, what's going on? But of course, the conspirators and the people are saying that, oh, it's because Wayne and Jay-Z, and he said this as it's so much going on. But, you know, the clip that came out in the interview, and, accountability is my best ability, and I always respect people that, like apologize or just, can, make amends or just being able to take accountability, period, point blank. And when I saw the interview, the clip of the interview, he was talking about that as he got older, he's had a disdain for Lil Wayne because of his lyrics and saying that, he wasn't really rapping about nothing. And I think that there's all points and times, like respectfully rapping about nothing, not that this has anything to do with anything, but I was just talking to my homies. Shout out to Amari, and we were listening to the J. Cole record Amari, and I was like, what is this record about? I had to go and look it up. Not that it's, and Timbaland produced the beat. And again, this is literally just a conversation, but sometimes there's gonna be songs that just, you wanna have fun, you just wanna vibe out to, just to be able to say he had any substance, that would hold, LaRussell or whoever to a substance. Sometimes you don't wanna hear Nas or Jay Electronica going crazy or, JID. You might wanna go like, I don't know, like we got variations, like songs is energy and motion, just different emotions that come out. So when he said what he said, I think that, I don't know, Wayne's been rapping for a very long time, and lyrically, like he went by the moniker the best rapper alive. Like literally, if we're talking rapping, I felt like what LaRussell was speaking to was more storytelling. But because of all of the controversy, he got on the internet and actually spoke about it. So we're gonna get into what LaRussell said in response to everybody saying it's LaRussell versus Lil Wayne.
They ain't post nothing I've ever done, but randomly, they all watching this interview and decided we should post this. And the title says, LaRussell says this about Lil Wayne after signing to Jay-Z. What the fuck that got to do with anything? That's somebody with a budget and content and the narrative saying, hey, go run this. Niggas want to try to tarnish what a nigga built, but you can't. The problem is God chose me, nigga. Man can't stop what God put in motion.
Come on, gang.
They doing everything they can because I did everything they can't,
Come
nigga.
on, talk that.
I broke the system.
Broke it.
I made it from my fucking backyard.
Backyard again.
It ain't ironic that all of a sudden niggas talking about LaRussell everywhere at the same time with the same narrative. It'll never work, nigga. I'm from the fucking Bay. Nigga, I break the internet. The internet don't break me.
Yeah, I don't. Look, okay, so Pete, right? That's LaRussell like reacting, about what's going on since like when I think I dropped that episode yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. But there's a couple of different clips of him responding on the internet. First and foremost, it's not many people that like, I'll be quick to say it's my bad. I take accountability so much that it turns into self-sabotage. Like if you're wrong, like admit that. I respect that, completely. But like how he has said, like, all of a sudden, like now, I mean, obviously since he did his Breakfast Club freestyle, which y'all should go check out, he snapped on the Breakfast Club freestyle and he announced that he was on a Rock. It felt like a Kanye moment. I'm the newest member of the Rock. We ain't had a moment like that in a minute. And with all this going on in the media, I felt like LaRussell joining Roc Nation was great brand alignment, not saying for both parties, whatever the case may be. But yeah, here's a little bit more about what LaRussell, about his apology.
Who I am or how I am. When I got an issue, I'd rather over communicate
Same
on
here.
how I feel and how it make me feel. I don't even want the energy of niggas debating Wayne's legacy to be around me. This is really a war of perspectives. I meant no malice. Like, nigga, I love Lil Wayne. I would never diss that nigga legacy. Like, that nigga mean too much to me, right? But that's me living in me. Like, I know when I said it, I meant that. But perspective is key. because how it's received don't always be how you sent it. If you offend a nigga, you have no jurisdiction or right to be like, well, I didn't mean that, so you can't be offended.
Facts.
The punch landed on me, and I'm offended, you know, and I respect that, and I empathize for that, because if I was on the other end, I could see how one could take it as such. I don't even want niggas taking my side. My personal opinion of my experience wasn't to be taken as the world's experience, but that's a flaw in me, because I could have used better words to explain what I was trying to say. The ego in me is always like, nigga, I'm not gonna apologize for some shit I went wrong. Nigga, I went wrong. You feel me? But the human in me that's growing is like, nigga, it don't matter if you feel like you was wrong. Someone was offended by your actions. And that's what warrants an apology. So, Wayne, if this reached your life in any way, I truly apologize, because that's not my intention at all, nigga. I love you, and I honor what you do in your legacy. If it didn't reach you, thank God, because this some bullshit. These niggas on social media on some bullshit. And you know what's crazy? I ain't no sellout. I ain't in the Illuminati. I still live in my community. I just came from my mama crib. If anything, I'm a nigga you should celebrate a champion. I made it from my backyard. That's myself. With integrity. I take care of my children. You feel me? I'm doing nothing but outputting good into the world where I could.
Now look, I'm telling you, Pete. Look, that right there, I ain't gonna hold you, was beautifully said. I really where did I go? Beautifully said. I really, really enjoyed that. That's a different level of shadow work and accountability for him to even be able to say, you know, like I said what I meant. My ego made me want to stand on it, but the delivery. Sometimes, it's, like they say all the time, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's tone. You know what I'm saying? You could just say, fuck you. Or you could be like, fuck you. Like, that's probably not the best example. Not fuck y'all. I love y'all in my comments, so please don't take that the wrong way. But there's just tonality, right? Like, your tone. Like, you know, sometimes you might be able to just adjust your tone, and that's really the difference. Like, I always tell people I don't code switch, I tone switch. You know what I'm saying? My code is going to stay the same no matter what it is that I do. If I walk in the room, I'm still going to be Taz Tycoon, no matter where I go. And that code is never going to switch. But if I change my voice to talk to a kid, or to talk to an elderly person, or to talk to a Tazzy's baddie, you feel me? Get your merch, you dig? Or to talk to, you know, somebody professional. I'm not fake or switching my code if I change my voice, because the tone requires the energy for the environment. I can even think about Yayo and Uncle Murder. Yayo was talking about how Uncle Murder voice carries. Like, sometimes it's tone. So I just think that I really appreciate, you don't see a lot of people stand on business, especially black men, pride, ego. Like, they're not gonna say any of those things. And I think with all that's going on, like, put some respect on Lil Wayne name. I think that even when I watched it the first time, I wasn't trying to fall into the clickbait era, but when he talked about clip farming and seeding and what people are doing, that people are paying for this narrative to go. That's what people are looking for. So I just try to make sure that even as a journalist and as a host, you know what I'm saying, at my show, that I have that integrity, like the people that I really look up to, like the Angie Martinez's or the Sway in the Mornings, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Lauren LaRussell, shout out to Wayno, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rob Markman. Like, there's certain journalists, like, and I still love the Charlemagne's, you know what I'm saying? You know, so it's the big boys, you know, you name it. So I just have a high level of respect for people that really try to effectively communicate, you know what I'm saying? Because that's, again, going back to my pops in this business, like, effective communication is key, you know. And I say this too, sometimes I feel like we're getting into arguments more so because we don't believe in the same definition. And I use this example a lot, right? Sometimes, more times than not, you disrespected me. But what if you don't define disrespect as the same thing as the next person? That's like Dove. And I always say this, right, as an example. If I ask y'all, hey, go to the store and get me some Dove. If you come back with chocolate, you're not wrong. If you come back with soap or lotion, you're not wrong. I didn't specify what kind of Dove it is. So sometimes before we jump into things with people, think about when you dating somebody, getting to know somebody, like, hey, define respect, define loyalty. Because if we get into an argument, right, and the first thing I say is you wasn't loyal. Well, we never established what loyalty was. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times our arguments are rooted in us not having the same definition. Imagine your teacher sending a sheet of paper around the classroom, right, and it's a word bank, and then everybody got different definitions. That's why we're arguing, because we're not agreeing on the definition. If any, and that's just another sidebar, a little tycoon talk, you dig. But nah, put it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Did y'all think that, you know, LaRussell was drawn for his comments? Do y'all respect the fact that he apologized? You know what I'm saying? Because the last time somebody apologized, J. Cole, look at what happened to him. You know what I'm saying? They gonna backyard, are they gonna, all pun intended, are they gonna try to backyard LaRussell for an apology? Because I don't want that to get to a point where it's like, nah, you know, you gotta stand on it, you less of a man, you know what I'm saying? Because you apologized or whatever. But y'all let me know in the comments, do y'all think that the apology was dope? Do y'all wanna see Lil Wayne in his backyard performing, you know what I'm saying? Or linking up with LaRussell? What do y'all think?
Tycoon running up the score, Tazzy's baddies on the floor. And that ass is super fatty, call me Zaddy, throw some more. Super nasty, she a savage, slaughter, fuck her like a whore. Popping bottles, foreign models, Tycoon on the world tour. Shorty, what you bad for? Turn this to a hit-a-thon, damn. All your bitches bad, tell them they can come along.